All right, welcome back to GDCMMA. As always, Garrett, Fraser, we are at Dave & Buster's for the exclusive event featuring Alistair Overeem. Going to dive right into the fights for UFC 157. Great card coming up, groundbreaking card coming up. First ever female fight in the UFC. Not only the first ever female fight, but a headlining fight, no doubt. So we're going to dive right into this. As always, we'll go over the main card. But we're going to start with one undercard fight because we got to look out for our boy, Sam Stout. We got to chat a little bit about that. So we got Stout, Fodor, another guy coming out of Strikeforce. How do you think this goes down?
Yeah, well, my biases are going to play big time with this fight, but I definitely see Sam Stout coming out with this win. I think he's heavily motivated after the McDussie fight. He got caught with that jab all fight. He was rushing in, and he didn't really adapt his game plan too well. He wanted to fight. He was aggressive, and he wanted to fight, and McDussie wasn't giving it to him. McDussie didn't want to fight. He wanted to, point his way to a win. Each their own, he got away with the win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. I think Stout's hungry now, and he wants this win. And, especially with Fodor coming over from Strikeforce, he'll probably want to cement his place in the UFC and let him know, hey, man, I'm here to stay kind of thing. I think it will be a fight of the night type fight, though. I think Fodor brings in a good style. It's going to be a great matchup, and I think Stout pulls off the win. I'm going to go decision.
Nice. I agree. I think Stout takes this as well. Can't go against our guy, but he needs a win here. If he's ever been as focused as this in his life, I'd be surprised. This is it for him. He's got to win this fight. So I'm taking Stout decision as well. Diving straight into the main card. First fight up on the card, we got Koscheck Lawler. So Lawler back in the picture. He's been gone for a while. Where has Lawler been? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always love watching him fight. How do you think it goes down?
That's a super exciting fight. I've always liked Lawler, actually. I'm excited to have him over from Strikeforce. It's going to be interesting. I think both these guys have great personalities outside of the ring and inside the cage. It could be a grinding fight, especially if Koscheck has his way. I think he's going to do a lot of wrestling in this fight. Not to say that Lawler doesn't have good wrestling either, but I think Lawler will probably want to try to keep it on the feet. Who knows? They could, X himself out kind of thing with the wrestling, and it could be a slugfest. But I think it's going to be an exciting fight, and if I have to pick, I'm going to go with Koscheck. I think he's top 5 still in the division.
You know what, and I hate to agree with you again, but I think Koscheck outclasses him pretty much in every regard. As much as I've always loved watching Lawler fight, and he is an exciting guy, loves to bang, I just don't see him being where Koscheck is. I think he gets outclassed on the feet and on the ground in this one.
I agree.
All right, next up we have, what is next up?
Menjivar and Faber.
Oh, great fight.
Yeah.
Our boy again. Menjivar fighting out of TriStar, of course. Uriah Faber. This is a huge fight for both guys. How do you think it goes down?
This fight is funny because it's not getting a lot of play because of the card, because of Rousey and Carmouche. But this is a huge fight. I mean, it's Uriah Faber. He is on the poster. He's the third guy down, but I think that's got to be a first for him. He's always the main card or the co-main event. So yeah, a little surprised it's not getting a little bit more attention. This could be huge for Menjivar. He had a loss to the Hulk a little while back, and then he came right back with an amazing submission, and he's right back in the picture. If he can take Faber out, then he's right up at the top. We could even talk about a title match. So that being said, Faber is the real deal, and there's a reason why he keeps getting title shots. So
he's top of the food chain.
Yeah, I never do this. I never go against my bias, but I'm going to go against it here. I'm going to say Faber's going to take this one.
Well, I absolutely can't go 3 for 3 with you, so I'm going to take Menjivar, and I'm going to say that submission.
Okay. It's not about. I hope it happens.
All right. Next up, obviously, Machida, Henderson. Huge fight. Would be the main event in almost any card you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
In this case, not the case, but great fight nonetheless. Who do you think takes this one?
Yeah, I love this fight, man. I love the build-up to it. I love the fact that they've been off for a while. I love all the smack talking that's been going down between Dana and Dan. It's like they're like torn lovers sometimes. But it's good to see him back in the picture. And Machida, I mean, the guy's awesome. It's styles make fights, right? And Machida's got that elusive style, and Dan Henderson's got that powerbomb style. Also a great wrestler, obviously. I don't know how this one's going to play out. I really, really don't. And it's crazy to have to pick someone in this fight. So if I do, I'm going to say Hendo. I'm going to say he catches him with a bomb and takes him out. But it could really go either way.
Okay, I'm going to go the opposite then. I'll take Machida. But same thing, right? I think, you're right. Hendo could land one of those giant hammer smashes on his head, and it could be lights out. But if you look at the way even Machida was moving around in the first round of that fight against Jones, like he looked excellent in that fight. And if he can just fight a smart fight, he could outpoint him easily, right?
It is very true. It is very true.
All right, main event. First ever in the UFC, first ever female fight in the UFC. Main event, no less. Huge, huge deal. Who do you think takes this? Carmouche against the one and only Ronda Rousey. How does it go down?
Well, I will say, first of all, I'm so happy for this. I think it's exciting. I think that the UFC had, they've shown that they've invested in this. They've gone and booked a couple more fights with the women. So that division is here to stay, no matter what anybody thinks. Opposed to popular belief or whatever you want to say here, I think it would be huge if Carmouche won.
It would be crazy.
I really do. I think that she's got an awesome story now that they have the prime times. You get to see what she's about. They weren't focusing enough on it. I don't think that she is the first gay or lesbian fighter in the UFC or in mixed martial arts that's come out of the closet. That is massive, and it's getting a lot of coverage. Yeah, Rousey is in all the different magazines, and everyone's talking about her, which is deservedly so. I think she's absolutely amazing, and these prime times have shown her true colors. Again, all that being said, it would be wild if Carmouche won, because that people would stick with Rousey, but now you'd have a new girl that the focus would be on, so it would make the division even better, I think. But
who wins it?
Exactly, Rousey wins it. Rousey wins it 110%.
I take Rousey. I take Rousey on the win as well. And you know what? Just either way, no matter how it goes down, what other sport can you say out there that not only has women competing on the same level as men, but headlining one of the biggest cards of the year? There are no other sports doing that. It's a huge hats off to the UFC, to MMA in general. It's going to be a big, big night. I think Rousey takes it as well, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's just a huge, groundbreaking moment.
Agreed.
So that's it for us tonight. Tune in as always. Lots to talk about in the coming weeks. Fraser, Garrett, we are out.